Good morning, everyone. My name is Mikiela Smith, and so many people have favorite celebrities, but does anyone have a favorite director? Well, today I will be talking about the successful life of Ryan Murphy, my favorite director. And for those who know who Ryan Murphy is, I'm assuming you have great taste in TV shows. Ryan Murphy is a screenwriter, producer, and director. A screenwriter is someone who writes the film, a producer oversees film production, and a director controls a film's artistic and dramatic aspects and visualizes the screenplay. Ryan Murphy was born on November 9th, 1965, and raised in Indianapolis, Indiana. Murphy grew up watching movies, and his mother was even a beauty queen. On Maestro of the Universe, a cover story on Entertainment Weekly, Murphy says, "I grew up with all of her crowns in a row, in her closet and stories about Hollywood. My mother wanted to be a movie star or to be a writer. She wanted to be more. And my father wanted to be a lawyer but was too terrified to take the bar. So, I just grew up with people whose dreams never came true." Which may be one reason he became motivated to direct and ended up being one of the biggest directors in Hollywood. His very first film that he directed, or his very first directed television show, was called Popular, which is about two teenage girls that hate one another because of a popularity contest. But they ended up forced together due to one of the girls' fathers marrying the other girl's mother. And after this show came Nip Tuck, which ran from 2003 to 2010, and it ran for 6 seasons on the FX television channel and even became a hit for FX. The show was about two plastic surgeons, one an honest family man and the other a dishonest playboy, who struggled to keep their practice running despite facing threats from personal and criminal clients. These two were only his first 2 shows, and although some will say they are good, the shows did not reach a huge audience. However, the third time was a charm because his third television show became an enormous success right away, and this show is known as Glee. The timing was amazing, and it could not have come out at such a better time in the world. It made a massive impact on gay rights and the anti-bullying movements. The show is about a mixed-race glee club that competes as a show choir and addresses social concerns, particularly those relating to race, sexuality, family, teenage relationships, and cooperation. I watched the show, and Ryan Murphy was ahead of his time and must have helped many young people watching it who related to some of the characters. Because Glee had football players dancing to Beyonce, lesbian closeted cheerleaders, bullying, and even teen pregnancy. Moving on to my favorite show by Murphy, which many people may know or have heard of, which is American Horror Story. So this show has 12 seasons starting from 2011 to 2023, and American Horror Story takes inspiration from the world's darkest moments. Each season of American Horror Story is different, and then all of them have characters based on real-life stories or people, and I will name some of the real-life events / people that were mentioned in the show, but don't worry because these aren't spoilers. So in one of the seasons even mentions my favorite alien abduction story. It's called the Barney and Betty Hill abduction, and for those who do not know what this story is or who they are, they were the first people to come forward about an alleged alien abduction. They told FBI agents, news reporters, and psychologists, but because they were an interracial couple and the year was 1961, people called them unreliable, which I think is crazy because there's a lot of evidence and stuff like that if you look more into it. And that's why I kind of like the American Horror Story, because Ryan Murphy lists a lot of stuff like that, and it kind of makes you want to research into it, which is what I did growing up watching it. And season 4 has a character named Twisty the Clown, who preys on young people. He was based on the serial killer John Wayne Gacy. And another season is called Hotel. The hotel itself is famous and based on the hotel in real life called Hotel Cecil. In the show, the hotel is run by James March based on H.H. Holmes, who was also a hotel owner. He used his business to trap, murder, and hide the bodies of women. A season with a character based on Charles Manson, with another with Richard Ramirez, and throughout the show, it has famous serial killers in it. and another season, which is my favorite, that has conspiracy theories involving aliens, President Eisenhower, and even Amelia Earhart. And I know I went into detail with this one show, but it is because I love how much hard work and research that he put into it. The show can also be very gruesome and questionable. For example, Emily Nussbaum stated in an article called Queer Eyes, Full Heart. Loving a Ryan Murphy show doesn't always mean enjoying it. Parts of American Horror Story make me feel ill or angry. The other thing I enjoy about the show is that in every season it has the same characters. Murphy has a way of making sure all the actors match or feel comfortable playing their characters. Murphy and the actors have a close relationship and love to work together. According to another article called Ryan Murphy, the Polymath, by Time International Jessica Lange, who has worked with Murphy for years and is even an actor who's played several characters on American Horror Story, stated. The enjoyment he takes creating the characters and the stories they tell, Ryan seems to possess a sixth sense of what you need and deserve as an actor, what would thrill you and what kind of character can meet you head on. Ryan has been nominated 38 times for an Emmy and won 6 of them. He won his first Emmy in 2010 for directing his comedy show Glee and a Peabody Award. He has won 5 Golden Globes and been nominated 16 times, one of them being due to the show Dahmer, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, featuring Evan Peters. That one's recent. That's a recent show. It was kind of uncomfortable to watch. He even won a Tony Award for writing and directing a musical play called The Boys in the Band in 2018. So, in conclusion, Ryan Murphy is a mastermind at creating amazing films and television shows. Murphy portrays modern situations and realistic problems that teenagers or people in society face. He knows just what his audience is into. Murphy is also unique and artistic in directing his films and storylines. He is a good example that if you put hard work and dedication into doing anything you love, into doing something you love, anything is possible. Thank you for listening.